I'm so thirsty. I just like, how do I do this? I mean, oh, that's so good. That's so hard though. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Michael Leando, and today I want to go ahead and deploy a React application to the cloud from space. If that sounds like a good time, then go ahead and stick around. If you're new here, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button if you enjoyed today's content. And if you really have a good time, hit that like button as it can help others find this content as well. Much appreciated. So what I want to show you today is how you can use your VR setup and incorporate that into your day-to-day programming experience. Now, VR might not be the best experience for everybody, but I myself love it. I share it with all my friends and family. So, with the help of a few applications, I went ahead and combined the best of both worlds, VR and programming, so that way we can have a fun-filled experience. Okay, so one of the first things you want to do is go ahead and head to vrdesktop.net. And depending on what platform you're running on, you want to go ahead and download either the Windows or the Mac version of VR Desktop. This is going to be an application that lets you stream content from your computer to your VR headset. So here I am on my home screen in VR, and from here I want to go ahead and do a quick search for Virtual Desktop. It's a pretty popular game, so you can either type it in from the search bar or you can click on Virtual Desktop as it's one of the options here. Now here's where things get fun. All right, and once it's connected, you can see that I can look at my actual desktop from here. Now let's take a moment to back up from what I'm seeing in front of me and maybe explore what we have going on around us. So this is the apartment experience where, as you can see, I mean, I got like a nice little cup of coffee here. I have a beautiful skyline right over there. Just gorgeous sunset. If you can kind of see it on here, I mean, there's cars going by. I'm obviously in a high-rise apartment, and I have a nice couch. So it might not be coming through on a 2D view, but this is really, really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe switch things over. So I'm going to switch my environment. And right now, as you can see, I'm in the modern apartment evening. We can switch things over to the daytime, if that's more your vibe. So it looks like we have some bridge construction going on. Again, moving traffic, my computer right in front of me. Or I can say, you know what, I'm gonna take a break. And I just wanna go ahead and maybe put on a movie on my laptop and check things out over here. And again, this is my full monitor being displayed on this gorgeous TV in front of me. So before we hop into some of the code, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other experiences that we can have inside of here. We can, as promised, be in space. And as you can see, I'm just a floating entity in this nebula, which, I mean, aren't we all? But this puts it in a whole nother perspective where I just have this sense of isolation and nothingness around me. Scrolling through, I can go to a purple nebula, and it's just a lot more vibrant. This is actually more of my color vibe, where you have sort of these dark blues and purples. And then the one that comes by default, and what you might have if you try this out, is this gaming room. So you have your little cards all around you. You got some nice VR stock, supercomputer beefed up, of course, and then you have the stack of cards. Pretty cool. And then you can definitely check out some of the other ones if you were to download this application. But let's go ahead and get into some programming. So I have this keyboard in front of me, and this doesn't work. Right? So I do have to position myself so that it kind of looks and feels how it would in VR. So I have my keyboard here, and let's head back to that. Oh, which one do I want? Let's head back to this evening one. So I have this like gaming mouse, and I just happen to position my actual mouse right here. Now the cool thing is that once I get rid of this, using my hands, I can actually control my laptop from here. So I can go to Chrome. And I mean, there's very little latency, very little perceived latency. If anything, like it'll jump every once in a while if it gets really intensive and then catch up. But this is super, super cool. Now, I'm kind of curious. What do we got here? Okay, cool. So I don't know if the audio is actually going to be picked up through the recording. I can hear it on my end, but I wonder if the audio is going to be picked up so that you can all hear it when you view this. Let's go ahead and move that to the side. Now I have my keyboard in front of me, right? So to show you, here is my keyboard, and I'm just going to place it so that it just kind of feels right. All right, so let's go ahead and create a brand new NextJS application. So we're going to say npx create next app, and then we're just going to call that VR, yep. Cool, and let that do its thing. So now that we have that, we can go ahead and open this up in VS Code and run it. Awesome. As far as like text crispness, it's not horrible. It's not hurting my eyes. It's not, I mean, we're not in the real world. So there's that to work with. But let's see what we can get here. Open up my terminal, and then let's just do npm run dev to see what we get. URL's open. Okay. Awesome, there we go. Now I want to go ahead and take this and just host it on AWS Amplify. So from here, we can go ahead and push this up to GitHub. Now, for those of you that aren't aware, you can use Amplify as just the hosting category without having to get into all of the nitty-gritty. What I mean is, let's go to GitHub. All I'm going to do is go ahead and create a new repo. Let's just say that this is the same as what we called it. So VR, yep. Public, and then we can copy all this good stuff. Head back, refresh, and then it all should be here. There we go. All right, so we have this connected. I'm going to head over to the AWS console, and specifically, I'm going to look for Amplify. And this is the Amplify console. You can definitely check this out. But in my case, I want to go ahead and tweak some things with my application. Specifically, when it comes to building it, I want to go ahead and say, when you build it, do npm build or next build rather. So we have next build, and then I want to go ahead and say next export as well. I'm searching for home row right now. So next export. There we go. And the reason why we want to do this is because if we go ahead and run right over here, if I say npm run build, what it's going to generate is going to be an out directory right over here. And we have to say next export because this tells Next.js like, hey, don't use like any of the Lambda or API pages. Just go ahead and create like an out directory and just ignore all that stuff and just statically export all of this good stuff that I want. Cool. So we got that. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and delete it so I don't have to worry about ignoring it or anything like that. But now that we got that, let's go ahead and kick this bad boy off. So what do we got here? Get status. Looks good. And then we're just going to say updated export and then push that up. Awesome. So we got that pushed up, and then now let's go ahead and connect this to AWS Amplify. I'm going to go ahead and click on New App. I should probably bump this up for you as well. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and click on new app. We have to host a web app coming from GitHub. Going to continue this. Awesome. And then now we can go ahead and type in VR. Yup. Main branch. Click next. And here we go. So base directory, the cool thing is that it recognizes it as a NextJS package. And I know that because it says that the base directory is going to be out. So we can go ahead and run npm run build and then go ahead and take care of things from here. So save and deploy, and you can see like NextJS and SSG, which is static site generation. So we're going to go ahead and let this do its thing. It's going to provision the application, build it, deploy it, and then it'll give us a link where we can go in and check things out to make sure that it's all working. Okay, it went ahead and it got done. So from here, we can go ahead and click on this link. And there we go. We have our application live on the web with a domain that has our branch name right in there. So let's go ahead and tweak this, right? So a couple of things that I want to go ahead and do. One, as promised, I got to switch this to the cloud. So let's head to our favorite Nebula space. Okay, so while we're in this Nebula space, what I want to go ahead and do is switch things over so that way we have more of an experience. I mean, we can, if we wanted to, like adjust the height of where this is at. We could also adjust the distance and make this like super small, big. That's kind of jarring. We can adjust the curve, so make it flat or curved. I like that. And then lastly, what is probably going to negate a lot of these is I want it to be headlocked. So that way it's just kind of floating, looking where I look with a little, just a little vibe to it. I'm digging that. So let's go ahead and keep that. And we're just going to be floating here in space. So I got that. And now I want to go, this is so weird. Okay, so now that I have that, let's go ahead and say that in our, oh, that's crazy. Good thing I know my shortcuts. So what is it, Command P? Yeah. And we're going to go to index. Index.js, instead of, welcome to NextJS, welcome to NextJS from space. And then can we do a cloud? Yeah. Save that up. Let's go ahead and commit it. And we're just going to call this blast off. I don't think we can have exclamation points in there. Cool. And then I'm just pressing buttons at this point. Command P, git push. Awesome. So we went ahead and issued this new commit. We just added from space. So let's see what's going on here. Let's go ahead and notice that it's breaking off a new, this is so crazy. Notice that it is provisioning our application because of that new commit. Everything just sort of got reestablished based off of that. You can see my commit here, blast off. And if you haven't tried programming like this, I would definitely recommend it. It's a different experience. You consider programming just always looking in front of you, but I mean, I can program this way. Like, how many people can say, hey, I programmed while staring at the Milky Way? Or, hey, what is that, Andromeda? I don't know, but I can be here. So it's pretty cool. All right, so we got that set up. And again, this is just going to take a moment to build. It looks like we're just entering the verify step. So it takes a lot quicker than the first time. I think I can go ahead and click on this link now and check things out. And there you go. Welcome to NextJS from space. And we have our cloud here. Awesome.